All right, let's bring in CBS Sports WNBA analyst and writer Erica Ayala into the mix after the Liberty defeat the Aces on their home court, giving them their first home loss. And Erica, I got to start with the MVP of this game, Jonquel Jones. She has looked like a completely different player from the first half of the season to now after the All-Star break. 16 points, 15 boards. How impressive was she against the Aces on Tuesday?
Reminding everyone why she has been a WNBA MVP. And we know that the New York Liberty were trying to integrate her in slowly earlier in the season as she was recovering from a foot injury, but those days are gone. She is integrated into the offense. She is cleaning up on the boards for the New York Liberty. And that has been the difference for this team, who has been on a heater in the last 6 games and since the All-Star break.
Yeah, and the way they've been, a heater, lately is their bench production. Marine Johannes went off. I mean, she was lighting it up from downtown, just made it look easy. Then you had Kayla Thornton, some big threes in that third quarter. The Aces, their bench was non-existent. What did you like from the Liberty's bench really stepping up to the table when the superstars did not have their A games on Tuesday?
I think this is what the New York Liberty has been focused on. I got to spend time in New York leading up to the Commissioner's Cup, and what we would see Sandy Brondello and her coaching staff do is start to integrate the bench players into rotations with their starters. And building that chemistry has, again, been one of the differences for the New York Liberty down the stretch. They've also started to get Steph Dolson back from injury. And as you said, it was a difficult, I mentioned offensively anemic game for the starters for both sides. But again, the bench being confident, being comfortable, presumably was the difference for the New York Liberty in this game.
Yeah, 25 points between Kayla Thornton and Marine Johannes. And then we got to talk about Sabrina Ionescu before we get into what's been going wrong with the Aces. Sabrina, she started off really poorly from 3, even though she had some great looks, but she was still making some playmaking plays. But then she went off in that fourth quarter that really separated the Liberty from the Aces, and they never really looked back after that. She, I think, is finding her groove really too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, again, there's so many things that are just clicking for this New York Liberty team. I recently wrote a story. While neither one of these teams consider themselves super team, they do have some extraordinary talent. And a part of that is being able to adapt and adjust. And I think that's what we saw Sabrina Ionescu do in this game. We've seen Breanna Stewart do it down the line and opening up space for players like Kayla Thornton and Marine Johannes to be effective and giving them that confidence to do so down the stretch for the New York Liberty has, again, been a difference maker, certainly in this game, the last 2, quite honestly, against the Las Vegas Aces, and is something they hope will give them the edge that they need for the rest of the regular season heading into the playoffs. Yeah, they're absolutely clicking at the right time. On the other side, though, Las Vegas, A'ja Wilson, only 9 points on 2 of 10 shooting. They shot 33% from the field, 19, I believe it was, from three-point land. They haven't had a ton of losses since the All-Star break, but they haven't looked as sharp as they did in the first half. And I think one of the reasons why is because of Candace Parker, but I think there's some other reasons. So what do you think is the reason why we see the Aces not look as so dominant and overpowering like we were used to seeing them in the first half of the season? Well, I think a part of it is that we just got so used to a dominant style from the Las Vegas Aces right out the chute. And that is a hard pace to maintain. We know that they were able to match what only a handful of WNBA teams have done, being 900 in win percentage, reaching matching, I should say, that total of the Sparks and the Houston Comets in their first 30 games. And we got a little comfortable. We got used to that. But this is a hard league to win in. What the Aces had in spades, if you will, was that they had their core together for the last handful of years. As other younger teams, newer teams have had more time together, we're seeing that they're figuring out the recipe to make things more difficult for the Aces. You really have to give credit to the Dallas Wings, who unlocked how to disrupt what the Aces want to do in post play. And the New York Liberty is a team that, of course, defensively can stretch out a team like the Las Vegas Aces. So I don't think there's any cause for concern for the Aces. They just have to go back to the drawing board, get back to their style of play, and really be diligent in being able to execute Aces basketball.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And I think, yeah, the Aces are just showing that they're human, right? And I think it's good to get these losses out the way in the regular season as opposed to in the playoffs when you're caught off guard and every game is do or die. Erica Ayala, thanks so much for the time. Hopefully we'll be talking about a Liberty and Aces championship here soon. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem. So here are the odds right now to win the WNBA title. The Aces, still the favorites at -190, but the Liberty +170. And then check out everybody else. The odds dramatically shrink. The Sun, 3,200.